The air is crisp, the leaves are changing, and the pumpkin spice lattes are overflowing. It is officially autumn, my friends. If you are new here, hi, I'm Alle Pierce, and welcome to my channel. Now today, I'm gonna be taking you to the best places in Chicago to visit in fall. Now we've got quite a long list, so let's get cracking, my friends. We're gonna kick things off with a visit to Graceland Cemetery. I mean, it is spooky season after all, right? Built in 1860, this cemetery is the final resting place for some of Chicago's most famous figures, including urban designer and 1893 World's Fair Director of Works Daniel H. Burnham, hotelier Potter Palmer, and business magnate Marshall Field. You'll find this cemetery right between Wrigleyville and Uptown. And if you want to make sure you don't get lost, that would be creepy, you can download a map on their website and make sure you don't miss any of the famous people buried here. And honestly, once you get over the fact that a bunch of dead people are buried here, it's really a beautifully peaceful place to walk and take in the countless varieties of trees that change colors this time of year. And of course, the cemetery has its own resident ghost. I mean, kind of a given, right? Her name is Inez Clark, right in there, and as the story goes, in 1880, she was playing in the rain when she was struck by lightning. Her parents commissioned this statue and added a glass box to symbolically shield their daughter from the elements. And get this, apparently on stormy evenings, some cemetery workers have reported that the statue inside goes missing. And then once the storm is over, well, she returns to her case. But if wandering through a cemetery isn't exactly your vibe, don't worry, it's not for everyone. Then you've got to head to Lincoln Park, where you can see some fantastic fall colors with some incredible views of the city. Located right along the lakefront, Lincoln Park offers endless options when it comes to things to do in the fall. One of my favorite things to do is stroll along the nature boardwalk just south of the Lincoln Park Zoo. The wildflowers are stunning, and don't forget to check out the honeycomb. And of course, the Lincoln Park Zoo has a ton of fall programming every year. You definitely want to check out their haunted history tours, their pumpkin patch, and a ton of other events. So for all that information, just head to the link in the description of this video. Oh, and I should mention that the Lincoln Park Zoo was actually built right on top of the old Chicago Cemetery. And some historians say that while most of the bodies were relocated to other cemeteries, some were actually left behind and might be buried underneath the barn at the zoo. Might be why there's often reports of hearing voices and seeing some old-timey figures. I'm gonna keep it moving. And last but not least, if you head to the southern edge of Lincoln Park, you'll find one of the last remaining tombs from the Chicago City Cemetery. The couch tomb is the oldest structure still standing within the Chicago fire zone and was erected in 1858 for Ira Couch, a wealthy hotelier. Now, varying accounts estimate the number of people entombed could be anywhere from 7 to 13, or just Ira himself. Now, if you're just a little bit spooked after all these ghost stories, let me suggest a quick trip up Clark Street for a sweet treat at Deflowered, a gluten-free bakery in Andersonville. This place has tons of fall-flavored treats to choose from that will surely satisfy your sweet tooth and make you forget about all those creepy ghost stories from the graveyard we just visited. While you're in the neighborhood, I'd head on over to Gethsemane Garden Center and pick up some pumpkins, perennials, and potted plants. Now, of course, they sell more than just that, but just go with me here because I was really on a roll with that P alliteration. This family-owned garden shop has served the Chicago community for nearly 40 years, and they source their plants from local family-run farms and greenhouses. Oh, and before we leave here, let's just take a moment to admire these plantings, because wow. Friends, I had such a hard time narrowing down all of the things that you can do and see in Chicago in the fall. So if you want even more recommendations on what to do in the city and also outside of the city, just head to the link in the description to get your hands on my Chicago Fall Guide. Our next stop takes us inside Dr. Murphy's Food Hall, a brand new spot on the Chicago food scene. Located on the city's near west side, you'll find this foodie's paradise inside the historic Cook County Hospital, which just underwent a massive $1 million renovation. The food hall features 12 restaurants, many of which are minority-owned and will give you quite the selection of global flavors. What is so great about Dr. Murphy's is that you can literally try so many different kinds of cuisine. We've got Nepalese, Indian, Mexican, and of course, some classic pizza. If you're into history and architecture, then you're definitely going to want to check out Open House Chicago, the annual free event put on by the Chicago Architecture Center. The festival spans 10 days and will highlight architecturally and historically significant sites across more than 20 of Chicago's neighborhoods. The event will feature both in-person and virtual events, and attendees can go on their own self-guided walking, biking, or driving tours with the help of the Open House app. Hey friends, just checking in. Are you enjoying this video? You finding these recommendations helpful? If so, go ahead and hit that thumbs up and feel free to leave your recommendations in the comments as well. My last suggestion is to learn about Chicago's haunted history, because there are no shortage of spooky stories when it comes to this town. I would highly suggest booking a tour, because then you get all the history and creepy stories from the people who know them best. You've got quite a few options in terms of tours, but I recommend either the Haunted History Tours with Weird Chicago or one of the many Chicago haunting tours. I'll put info for those in my Chicago Fall Guide, so check that in the link below. But if you're more of a do-it-yourself kind of explorer, then first I'd say you're brave, and then I'd tell you to check out these next few haunted spots. First up, the Chicago Water Tower, which was one of the few buildings to survive the Great Chicago Fire of 1871. Apparently, there's been multiple reports of a shadowy figure in the tower's top windows. Our next location was named one of the most haunted places in Illinois by Travel and Leisure. So, you know it's gotta be super spooky. And I'm talking about the Congress Plaza Hotel. Built to house the attendees of the 1893 World's Fair, the hotel is said to be home to a ghost named Peg-Leg Johnny, who was murdered in the alley behind the hotel, and a little boy whose mother threw him and his brother out of the hotel before then jumping to her death. Even more chilling, if that's at all possible, is that most of the hauntings take place in room 441, and that's where guests have reported seeing a figure of a woman, things moving around at random, and lights turning on and off. Ugh, I have the chills. If you want even more recommendations on some of Chicago's most haunted places, let me know in the comments and maybe we'll do a whole video just on Chicago's spooky spots, okay? I think I need to burn some sage now because probably picked up a few ghosts along the way. But before I go do that, I do just want to say thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope it got you in the festive fall mood. Now, if you want more information on any of the spots that we visited, plus even more recommendations, you gotta check out my Chicago Fall bucket list. I'm gonna put it in the description of this video. Now, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell to get a notification when a new travel video goes live. Also, maybe you want to check out some of my other videos. I'm going to put some recommendations right here. And to connect outside of YouTube, you can follow me on Instagram at Alle Pierce. And yep, I think that's it. So I'm going to go burn that sage now, okay? All right, peace.